I was waiting for him to say something. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Them Wrestling Guys. And we're talking about things we'd like to see happen by the Royal Rumble. So anything between now and the Royal Rumble. We'll only do 4 topics so we don't get too far off. I'm sure we'll go off on tangents because we tend to do that when we're talking about wrestling. But all right, so first thing I want to see, and I'm pretty sure Matt wants to see, is I want to see Kofi drop the title. And I'm not sure if it's gonna happen on when he faces Brock Lesnar. That could end up being a no contest because, as Matt pointed out, it is the 2 days before Hell in a Cell.
Yes, the premiere episode of SmackDown on Fox Friday night will be October 4th. 2 nights before Hell in a Cell. So it is kind of interesting to see where they go because obviously you're not going to have a pay-per-view without both world titles on the line. Well, if Kofi Kingston's the champion. We've seen what happens when Brock Lesnar's world champion.
He cannot defend it until next April.
So if Brock doesn't win the title, if it's a no contest, do they do it at Hell in a Cell?
I feel like they might let Kofi drop the title on the premiere for Fox. If they throw that rumor out there, I'm sure viewership will go up quite a bit. Say what you want about Brock Lesnar. Like, I'm not a Brock Lesnar guy. Like, it's not someone that I'm really interested in watching. But when he came out on Tuesday night, I can't lie, I did get a little excited because I was like, all right, Kofi's run's gonna end. But yeah, do I want him to beat Kofi? No. Do I want somebody to beat Kofi?
Yes.
Yes. Does it matter if it's Brock Lesnar or not? Unfortunately, no, it doesn't. Because to me, Kofi's run has been not that great. He's definitely a fighting champ, but I don't know, man. He throws pancakes at people.
Honestly, his match with Orton at Clash of Champions was the only title match I can think of that was gone not just past 10 minutes, but gone like a decent length.
We all know what the main event title
is. But him and Joe, him and Owens, they were roughly around 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more. But him and Orton actually went for about 20.
I'll give him him and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania was great.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Sometimes that felt like the true main event just because of how great of a matchup that was.
I'm not gonna take anything away from Kofi. 10 years or whatever, or 15 years but you gotta do better than that if you're waiting that long. I just don't. I'm just not a fan of it. So hopefully he drops it to Brock. If not, like maybe shortly after the draft. We don't know who's gonna go where.
Or who's going to get called up.
Yeah, or who's going to get called up. So speaking of call-ups, let's talk about who we want to see get called up to the main roster through the draft. So my first person that I want to see on the main roster and actually get a really big push is a person who I thought last year and the year before was the biggest heel in the world. Like, nobody could touch this guy in terms of heat that he drew from all around the world. This guy was going after kids on Twitter. Like, he had so much heat. And that's Tommaso Ciampa. And Tommaso Ciampa to me is like, right here, the Black Heart. So he's like, I don't know, he's one of those guys, like, this is his second time being hurt for a very long time. So durability is going to be an issue, I guess. Hopefully he can come back from this and he had that nice run right after his first injury. Where he broke up DIY, RIP DIY. I really like them as a tag team as well. And it looked like they were going to revisit that when him and Gargano were up on the main roster for like 2 weeks. But then he got hurt.
Right, when they were tag team partners during the Dusty Tag Team Classic.
And he was still NXT champ. And I think Gargano was North American champ for a minute.
Yes.
So Tommaso Ciampa is probably my number one guy I want to see get called up.
I will agree with you on that one. But if I had to pick somebody different For a while, I was thinking Johnny Gargano, but I might actually change my mind on this. I think Tommaso Ciampa is a great choice because he is proven right now that NXT, even though it is a tough loss without Tommaso Ciampa, NXT is still prevailing without him. There's been nothing but 5-star matches between Gargano and Adam Cole.
Anybody Gargano gets in a ring with has a 5-star match.
Yeah, him and Ricochet. I mean, him and Velveteen Dream. But the one guy out there right now who I don't see being put in a storyline anytime soon, and I think he's going to fly under the radar and just have decent matches in NXT, but he could prevail, is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is a man who's so young. He could spend another 5 years in NXT and keep building himself as one of the next big stars, the breakout stars. But he's already done so much at his young age that I think he could also step up. He's got great mic work. He is just a pure badass in the ring. The joint manipulation, just watching him work the way he does that, I don't give a damn attitude. I'll go where I want, and which we just saw when he came back to NXT from UK. His look alone, the mouthpiece, he looks like a straight up badass. I don't understand why the guy can't get called up to the main roster right now and have a great run.
But are we sure that being called up is a promotion?
Yeah,
nowadays you're not sure. Like, look at Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Main roster, that gimmick doesn't work. It won't work. Down in NXT, everybody loves it, and I don't get it. And it's the same thing with AOP. That gimmick didn't work when they went up to the main roster. Now they're doing this new thing. I don't even know.
I said, didn't they just show a vignette for them the other night?
They're wearing suits. Or some shit.
They're wearing suits.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's gonna be all about, but they're doing like a Aleister Black angle with them, where like nobody's man enough to challenge us. But then like the next match is Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Like, you're telling me they're not man enough to take on AOP? Come on, AOP got beat by DIY. Let's not forget that. They also got beat by top guys in NXT. So, I mean, they're not unbeatable, and just because they're big doesn't, I mean, they're really good. But just because they're big doesn't mean I'm going to believe that they're dominant against guys like Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, who honestly deserve a push. Or War Raiders, or even Heavy Machinery, who's kind of a comedy act right now, but like...
But they prove they belong in that ring.
Yeah.
Them against, what was it, Daniel Bryan and Rowan?
For all you people who don't know, the War Raiders are the Viking Experience, right? Viking?
They were going to go with Viking Experience, but then they changed it to Viking Raiders
Viking Raiders. Way to go, WWE.
Should have stayed with War Machine.
And, so yeah, yeah.
Bobby Roode. Up until just this past week.
EC3. Enzo and Big Cass, they got called up, and they basically... Enzo did have that cruiserweight run, but... I mean, they broke them up. They shouldn't have. They got so much pops when they came out, and then they just, like, ruined them. And that's what I feel like Vince does on the main roster. Like, he'll ruin people that are from other companies. I think AJ Styles is the only one that's really untouchable. Like, you can't ruin him.
Say, one of the other guys right now who might fall in those footsteps is Ricochet. Maybe.
They like Ricochet, even after his video. But, some people might know what I'm talking about. Other people probably not. That's not really family friendly. Sorry, that's not what we do here, Matt. You shouldn't have let me say that. Alright, so let's do the next thing. We want to see The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, get a world title run, and then set up him and Demon Balor.
Which is inevitable.
Yes.
I think everyone wants to see that.
But not till WrestleMania, probably. I'd like to see a long feud and the payoff be at WrestleMania. But I want to see the Fiend go over the Demon.
Yes. If you're building up the Fiend like you are, it cannot just be, let's build him up, put him on top, and who will dethrone him. Almost make it like Shayna Baszler's run right now. takeover after takeover after takeover. You think they're finally gonna find the woman who's gonna dethrone her, but she goes over Mia Yim, which shocked me. I thought Mia Yim was gonna finally be the woman who went over and took the title from her. You go over undefeated Bianca Belair at the time. I almost want to see that with Bray Wyatt as the Fiend. I want us to maybe think that the Demon can be the Fiend's kryptonite, but still the Fiend prevail over the Demon and be more powerful. And this is what I was getting at in another video, where I think the Fiend and what he's doing right now, what Wyatt's doing, can rival the Undertaker. I think what he does is scary beyond hell. If you watch Raw this past Monday night, and props to Seth Rollins for selling it. They showed Rollins in the corner, like almost shaking, terrified, as Bray just crawls towards him in the corner and is just staring at him. It was intense. It was creepy. The fact that they let him just dethrone Kane like that in one night, which
in Knox County.
Yes, in Knox County. The former 24/7 champion.
Former 24/7 champion Kane. Former WWF tag team champion.
No,
Kane.
that was the former 24/7 champion Glenn Jacobs.
Oh, Glenn Jacobs.
Glenn Jacobs.
Glenn Jacobs?
Yeah.
You mean the King's dentist?
Isaac Yoakum.
Sir Isaac Yankum? The King, Jerry Lawler's dentist? Kane? Former...
He went over him. Mandible Claw.
Claw.
He went over him. Mandible Claw in the ring, and he crawls towards Seth Rollins, and it was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. Yes. I don't know. I want the Fiend to keep going. I'm biased because if anybody knows me with pro wrestling, current roster, Bray Wyatt is one of, if not my favorite performer on that roster.
Speaking of favorite wrestlers, Seth Rollins is the one we want him to dethrone. Which... he's my favorite wrestler.
We want Seth to dethrone the Fiend?
Seth Rollins is the one we want him to dethrone.
Oh, yes.
Bray
Okay.
Wyatt.
I thought you were saying later on Seth dethrones him.
I'll cut that out, guys. You don't have to deal with that crap. Speaking of that, who do we want to win the Royal Rumble? Well, we just told you. Finn Balor. But do we want him to win it as the Demon?
Yes.
Or as Finn Balor?
Yes.
And when is he going to come back?
I don't know.
Is he going to come back after Royal Rumble? Because that would be great.
The only way I could see Bray not winning at Hell in a Cell is if almost as a throwback to Kane's debut in 1997 in October at Bad Blood, what if the Fiend was about to win the Universal Championship only for the Demon to come out? That's
contest.
That's the only way I could see it not happening.
Yeah, because you can't have the Fiend lose. That'd be stupid.
Not clean.
Definitely not clean. That'd be stupid.
Lose at all, but if it's gonna happen, not clean.
So yeah, all right. So it's a nice short video for you guys. Those are the things we want to see happen within the next 6 months, or by. Never mind, Matt's not done.
You have somebody win the Royal Rumble. There's 2 world titles. Who's the second guy you want to see step up in a main event match? Anybody, even if they've been there before.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Always be Randy Orton will always be a choice for me.
I want to see Owens.
Okay, Kevin Owens, but he might go back to NXT. So
he might go back to NXT, but I think he's still going to stay with the roster for the most.
We'll see what happens, because I think we're going to get him and Shane at Hell in a Cell anyway. So
hopefully not in a Hell in a Cell match. We already saw that 2 years ago.
Like a street fight, or like a no holds barred.
A Falls Count Anywhere at Hell in a Cell match. I wonder why it's Falls Count Anywhere, so Shane can jump off the cell.
A lawsuit on a pole match. I just solved everybody's problems. If Shane wins, the lawsuit gets dropped. If Kevin Owens wins, he gets $25 million and controlling share of SmackDown. You're welcome, WWE. You can send the checks to my house.
Something tells me they're going to be unsigned checks.
Maybe. Anyways, those are the things we want to see happen by the Royal Rumble. Let us know what you think. Hit that like button. Subscribe down there. Comment. Let us know what you think. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.